Do we both clap, or how does that work?
Just get soup to do it.
All right, can you just clap in front of your face there? That's all we needed. All right, Sens head coach Andrew Campbell, thanks for sitting down with us.
No problem.
Letting the fans get a chance to get to know you a bit.
Yeah,
So let's talk about your background a little bit, growing up in the western part of Ontario, I suppose. Tell us a little bit about life as it was back then.
So I grew up in Caledonia, Ontario, just outside of Hamilton, and lived in Caledonia my whole life. A lot of my family still lives there, so immersed in sports, played hockey, played baseball, and eventually played in junior in the Sioux, and a lot of years in the American League as a player, so comes full circle, and now back here coaching the American League, and away we go.
What was growing up like in Caledonia? What kept you busy? What were the favorite subjects in school? Outside of hockey, what was Andrew Campbell like as a young lad?
Well, it's a great small town. It's obviously not as small as it used to be. Obviously, there's been new builds, and the town's kind of exploded a bit, but just a great small town where everybody knows everybody. You don't lock your doors at night. Everyone helps everybody out, and played sports in the town. That's basically what kept me busy. I have a great group of friends that I'm still great friends with to this day, and we used to play hockey together, ball together, road hockey, golf, you name it, playing down the tennis courts, or just being at buddies' houses. That's kind of what we did. We were a group that everything was kind of revolved around sports, and it still is to this day.
Yeah. So you go from Caledonia up to the Sioux as a teenager. How much do you remember about that transition and moving up to Northern Ontario, the northernmost part of the OHL?
I loved it. The Sioux is it's a great city. They treat the team up there like a mini NHL team, and it's a small city, and they really get behind the team there and support it. So had some great billets, and just really enjoyed my 3 years there, and I still think fondly of the city today.
Yep. You played close to 1,000 pro games, but at what point as a young player did you kind of realize that hey, there might be a pathway here for me to continue on past junior?
Yeah, you never really know. I mean, I played in my hometown for a lot of years, and had a great time there with my friends, and had great coaches there, and was around a lot of great people. And then ended up played in Hamilton my OHL draft year. Then ended up getting drafted out of the Sioux. So you never foresee yourself going on to the next level. But I was fortunate enough to continue to work at it and make a career out of it.
Draft days and that whole experience has changed a lot over the years. What do you remember about that early jump to pro for yourself?
Well, from pro, it all happened pretty quick. I was in my third year of junior and was having a really good season. And I remember Craig Hartsburg was a coach. He called me in and said, "You might want to think about getting an agent. We're getting quite a few calls on you right now from NHL teams." And it happens quick. I was drafted as a 20-year-old in my third go around to the NHL draft, and then from the draft in June, signed in September, and ended up playing my overage junior year in the American League. So it all happened in a 4 or 5 month span there between really turning it on, getting drafted, signing a contract, and boom, you're in pro hockey right away. So it was a bit of a whirlwind.
Yeah, and then you were bouncing around a little bit when you were with the Kings at the time, and their AHL affiliate is literally on the other side of the continent in Manchester. You've told me the story about your NHL debut before, but it's one of my favorites of yours. Again, quite the travel day to get there and make your debut on Hockey Night in Canada.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the affiliates now are a little bit better. You got Belleville and Ottawa. You're right down the 401.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're in Manchester, New Hampshire to Los Angeles, California. So I was having a nap, and we had played that night in Manchester, and the trainer was banging on my apartment door to wake me up because I had to get to Boston to hop on a plane, and flew from Boston to Montreal and Montreal to Vancouver, and got in the middle of the night and turned around and played that very next night on Hockey Night in Canada. So again, it was a whirlwind, and it happened pretty quick.
Yeah, you've had some pretty big moments as well in your career. What sticks out to you over your tenure as a player in the American Hockey League?
I was fortunate to play on a lot of good teams and a lot of enjoyable cities. Most fond, memorable thing is just the guys you play with along the way. You know, you play with a lot of characters, a lot of great teammates, and for a lot of great coaches. So a lot of great relationships that I still have with a lot of those people, and every city you play in along the way, you remember certain things about it. But I just remember I'm really fortunate that I played in a lot of great places with a lot of great people.
And obviously a lot of that experience now helps in that transition from, on the ice to behind the bench. What spurred the decision to get into coaching, and how have you, I guess, kind of seen yourself develop on that side of things?
As a player, I always knew I wanted to stay in hockey afterwards. When you're playing, you're obviously focused on playing. You never really know what the path is going to be post-playing, but I always knew it was going to be in hockey in some capacity. And right towards the end of my career there, I was fortunate enough just to kind of volunteer in Hamilton in their training camp with the Bulldogs, and I got my foot in the door that way, and just continued to put my head down and work, and you learn along the way, and then the role just kind of grew organically as we went, and time flies, and now we're here.
Yeah, been in Belleville for a couple of seasons now. Again, started as an assistant coach. When you go back to that OHL time as an assistant coach, Matt Turek was obviously a part of that team in Brantford, Hamilton as well. You win an OHL championship there, and you talk about the relationships. How much has that relationship, meant to you, and even now, pushing into your first full year as the head coach here with the same now GM and a new club?
I mean, it's awesome, being around great people that put in the work every day, and you just kind of sit and watch and learn, and working under Jay, who's down the road in Hamilton now. Yep. He was so good to me. He's fantastic. He's a great coach. So just being able to learn under him for the time that I did, it was invaluable. So you always want to surround yourself with good people and people that you learn from, and I was very fortunate to start my career in that situation.
Yeah, and then again, Matt follows you here to Belleville, and here you guys are kind of together, trying to put a team together to be competitive this year.
For sure. We talk pretty much every day. I probably annoy him at times with how many times I call, but we go over everything all the time. So we're looking to build here in Belleville, and it's a great place for Ottawa's prospects to be, and just really excited to continue forward here.
Obviously, the season's getting closer now. The start has been moved up, 2 or almost 3 weeks, so the off season's a little bit more condensed. Players are starting to sign. How have you kind of felt about the early stage steps of doing just that, putting this team together?
It's really exciting. We got some great young prospects that are ready to make their jump into the pro game, and Ottawa, Matt did a great job with some signings on July 1st to bring some, veteran bodies in that can be real impact players for us here in Belleville that can complement the great stable of prospects too. So the roster is what it is on paper. We'll see how everything gels here when we get into camp in September and into the season in October. But just really excited with everything that's transpired.
I never like to pigeonhole guys to the AHL at this stage of the off season, right? Everybody's got a chance to make the NHL club out of camp. But when you see those names like Tomasino and Blais, et cetera, that are potentials to be in this lineup, what does that do for you in terms of your planning as a coaching staff, and just the things you might be able to accomplish with players like that?
Well, it's exciting as a coach. You know what kind of pros they are, what kind of players they are, and those veteran guys bring so much to your team on a daily basis. They drive your team on the ice as far as the way they can play. They drive your team in practice with everything they've been through on and off the ice. So really exciting to have those high-end players, Brendan Suzuki as well, and Kyrou, and having Phil back and everyone else that's coming back. It's it's exciting for sure. Yeah,
we spoke to Phil Daou this week as well, and that's in terms of guys who have really cut their teeth here in Belleville. He's probably at the top of the list. It's such a great story to see him get that NHL deal again here.
It is. It's awesome, and he earned it. He obviously had to took a bit of a step back there before last year to sign in the American League deal, but for him, he had a phenomenal season last year and put in a ton of work in the previous summer. He had to get his game up to the level he played at last year, and he was consistent at it throughout the whole season. So overjoyed for Phil. Obviously, he like I said, he really earned that NHL deal again this summer, and now you hope he makes Ottawa out of camp. I think that's everyone's goal going in there in September, but if he is back here, we expect him to continue to be a driver and be a really, really good player for us here.
And we talk about the prospects a lot as well, and you're fresh off your first development camp as Belleville's head coach. How was the few days out in Ottawa and kind of the first look at the youngsters this year?
It was great. Andrew Gordon and Sam Gagne, they put so much work into doing that camp, and they did a great job. The guys got a ton out of it, both on the ice and off the ice, and it's great for those kids to get in, and they're coming from all over the world, different leagues, and for them to meet each other and spend some time bonding and getting to know the organization. So as a coaching staff, we were there to support Sam and Gordo and just kind of start those relationships with the young guys, and you get your eyes on them for the first time and see what they're all about. So we had a few guys there from our team last year, so it was great to reconnect with them over the summer to see how they're progressing. And other than that, it was just great to meet those young kids and as we move forward together.
In terms of your coaching philosophy, coaching style, can you tell us a little bit about how that kind of works in your head, and B, maybe just how you'll kind of be able to implement that now that you've got the head coach role from the start of the season?
Right. Well, it's a lot about relationships for me. You have to make sure the players are comfortable in the environment, and when they show up to the rink every day, that they're in a good headspace and they're happy to be here and they're excited to be here and they're ready to make themselves better on that day, so they can eventually get up to Ottawa, which is obviously all their goals. So just forging those relationships and making this a place where they want to get better at, and then it's a team effort now. It's the whole coaching staff, the training staff, the support staff, the office staff. We're one big group here, so. And everyone plays a massive part in getting those players to where they want to be. So we work at it with them together, and so they can reach that pinnacle at the end.
As part of your process heading into the season, obviously you'll build the roster, you'll cut things down, set your opening night lineup, but you'll also have to name a new captain this year. What type of things will you look for in that qualified candidate? And there will be plenty to choose from, I think.
For sure. I mean, it's a big responsibility for a player to carry, and we want someone who's going to bring it on a daily basis in the gym, on the ice for practices, during the games. Someone who's really going to take care of the young guys and make sure that they're comfortable in the room and in their surroundings and in the rink, and set the example that we want as a coaching staff of what we expect on a daily basis. So. Like you said, I'm sure there's going to be some great candidates, and we'll see come October where it goes.
And I mean, you've been a captain in this league as well, and obviously that's an important role regardless of where you're playing. But does it maybe have a little bit more importance at the AHL level, just given how many guys are kind of at a transitional point in their careers?
For sure, there's lots of transition. There's a lot of fluidity between Ottawa and Belleville and Allen. There's constantly guys going up, coming down, coming up. So if you have that firm and steady voice in the room, players are around their teammates more than they are coaching staffs. When you have that strong leadership group, it really goes a long way in integrating that. So and saying that, the captain obviously carries a big burden of it, but it's the strength of the pack, the strength of the group, and we have a lot of great leaders that are going to be in this room, so they'll attack it together, and it'll be a group effort, and we'll be better off for it.
Some of the other big news this week is that the schedule is out now, and I know it's an imperfect science. There's always going to be something that makes you scratch your head a little bit, but what are your overall thoughts on kind of how things are laid out this year? Hamilton's joining the division. That's going to change the playoff picture. Like, there's a lot that's going to be impacted by that this year.
There are, for sure. I'm sure if you ask all 32 teams or whatever. Every team is going to have some qualms about different things in their schedule, and we're no different. It's a tough task for the league to make everyone happy, and they're never going to make everybody happy. So it is what it is. It's nice having Hamilton join. Obviously playing them 10 times, 5 home, 5 away. So those are 5 shorter bus trips than going out to Bridgeport or the far east coast, which is nice. So a lot of Hamilton, a lot of Toronto, a lot of Laval, which is good for travel and rivalry, and then sprinkling in the other teams as well. So yeah, it's just excited to get going, and it is what it is. That's what we always say about it. The schedule is what it is. A couple things you try to ask the league to change, and they're able to change a couple, and a couple are left on there, which can't do anything about. So the games are ahead of you. Let's go play them.
Yeah, you're going to have to play through it anyway,
That's
regardless of what it looks like.
Yeah.
Well, and you talk about rivalries, and obviously Hamilton becomes a natural rivalry just because they're in Ontario and only a few hours away. But as we talked about a little bit earlier, for you have a former coworker now behind the bench there, and in Jamie Key, and you've got obviously close to home, being from Caledonia. Is that going to add maybe a little bit more to that season series potentially?
No, I mean, it can never be personal like that, but maybe it will be a little bit the first time anyways. But those will be fun games to play. Obviously, being back in Hamilton, a rink I'm very familiar with, and being close to home, and knowing some familiar faces on the other side of it, those will be fun games to play in, obviously. But yeah, it's nice just to have another team close down the 401 that minimizes some of the travel.
Yeah, and as I've been kind of saying to some folks too, right? Like obviously Laval, Toronto, Hamilton are rivals, but really everybody in the North Division is a rival because that takes up the bulk of your schedule,
Yeah.
and the points are so important in this league.
Yeah, the points are critical. Points in the first game of the year in October just as important as the last game of the year in April. So yeah, you play each other, play the same teams quite often. I think we got 10 Hamilton, 10 Toronto, 10 Laval. So there's 30 games between 3 teams there. So you see each other a lot. That builds natural rivalries. So those are always exciting games to play.
Last schedule thing I want to touch on is our school day games. So we'll do 2 for us this year. I think we have 1 in Toronto as well, but
Yeah.
here at home and then out in Ottawa again. First off, what is I guess that experience like from your guys' perspective on the ice, on the bench, seeing all those kids around, and then maybe just how important is it to play that game in Ottawa, to get some of our younger players out there and really get to experience the action in that NHL environment?
Well, once you get past the 10:30 or whatever it is start time, I mean, it's what time we practice that, so guys are used to it. But once you get past that, it's just another game, and they're always energetic, fun games to play in because the building is full and the kids are screaming and it's piercing loud, and there's lots of energy and noise in the building, which is awesome. So, and then going to Ottawa, that's where our guys want to be eventually, right? Their goal is to play in the NHL and play in Ottawa. So to be able to play a game in that building and be around those surroundings and get some eyes from people in that area on our players is awesome. And yeah, it's a bigger building to jam in more kids and more screams, and it should be louder and more energy. It'll be fun.
Yeah, just a little more Advil. That's all we need
Yeah.
to get through that. We're going into our 10th anniversary this year. It's a pretty big deal for any team to celebrate a decade in one place, and the growth that this organization has seen since 2017-18, I think, is pretty obvious to people. You've been here for a couple of years. Any moments that stand out for you in your early tenure here with more to come?
No, I mean, like you mentioned, it's great to have that relationship going on 10 years, and it shows the strength of the bond between Ottawa and Belleville, and right down the 401 corridor. So yeah, it's great to be so close to your NHL affiliate, and the players really like that, and families like that, and yeah, it should be a great season, and really looking forward to having a great year here in year number 10.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. October 2nd, again, the home opener against the Hamilton Hammers, which will be fantastic. We'll go non-hockey for a few minutes here to finish off. First of all, we were talking about your childhood, and I know sports was a big part of that. But just thinking back on your life in general, any non-sports experiences, stories, anything like that, just general memories that, that you maybe think of frequently that bring you joy, happiness?
I don't know. I'm pretty boring. My whole life has revolved around sports, more or less.
Fair.
But No, just being like we talked about earlier from small town Caledonia, just having that great small town vibe and everyone supporting each other and helping each other out and knowing everyone. It's great, and a lot of my family lives in Caledonia, so remember just spending time with them and aunt and uncle's pool with the whole family, or we used to do family trips down to Myrtle Beach and things like that. Those are obviously good childhood memories, but a lot of my other memories are just being in a rink or a ball field or at a buddy's house and buzzing around.
Yeah, it's tough to make those other memories when you're so ingrained in the game,
Yeah.
obviously. All right, let's do some rapid fire. What's your coffee order?
Just a regular coffee with 1 milk.
That's it.
That's it.
Black with milk, easy.
Yeah,
So if
simple.
you're looking for a coffee order for Coach, you don't have to think too hard. That's a nice, easy one.
Yeah.
What was the last movie you watched?
We watched a movie with the kids, and it's the Sheep Detective.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
it
I've
was a
seen
good
that
movie.
one.
It
Was it
on
good?
Amazon or Prime or something.
Yeah.
The kids really enjoyed it. It was
The
good.
Talking Sheep, I might have to check that one out. Yeah. What about TV shows? Do you watch much TV, or is it mostly sports when you're not?
I don't know why. Hockey, baseball, football, golf, whatever's on, whatever live sporting event I'm watching.
Yeah, perfect. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Dogs. Do you have a dog?
We do, yes.
What do you? What's your dog's name?
Her name is Molly. She's just a little, she's a little thing, low maintenance.
Yeah, perfect. What was the last song on your playlist that you listened to?
Oh, what did I listen to on the way in? What was it? Just Gavin Adcock, Wannabe was what I listened to peeling in this morning.
Nice.
Driving it slowly, not peeling in.
Right on. And maybe lastly, you and the family have obviously been here in the Bay of Quinte for a couple of years now. Have you found any spots that you find yourself gravitating back to? I know you guys have a great spot now down there in Prince Edward County as well, but aside from the homestead, anywhere else you find yourself venturing out to?
No, we love being at our place. We have a lot of great times there. Our family, we go to Tommaso's in Trenton. They're big fans of the restaurant there, and kids go to gymnastics here in Belleville, and we're in Picton for soccer and Wellington for ball. So you can get the theme that a lot of it revolves around sports.
Yeah.
But no, the kids love swimming, go on the lake, and just spending time at home.
And getting a nice tour of basically the entire Bay of Quinte at the same time.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's such a beautiful area out there in Prince Edward County. So we've ventured around the county quite often, and so many great places in Belleville too that we frequent. So lots to do in the small area.
And again, lots to look forward to in the next 3 years coming up as well. Sure. Let's leave it on this. If you had a message for Belleville Sens fans, in preparation for the upcoming season, what would you say to them in terms of, why they should be excited to watch this team this year?
Yeah, I just think we have a great mix of young prospects that are starting to get their feet wet here in the HL, and new players coming in, and then a great mix of veteran guys that have been here for a year or two now, so they know what the city's about and the area's about, and everything. So I think it's going to be a great mix, and we're really excited about the team that's been built, and put a great product on the ice for the fans, and develop a whole new group of players here that can eventually be Ottawa Senators down the road.
Yeah, that's the goal, and it all starts on October 2nd against Hamilton. Thanks again for the time, Coach. I really appreciate it.
No problem, Footy.